Hi friends, as you are aware, VAT will be implemented in Oman from April 2021. Here I am going to talk about basic things what you should aware about VAT as a consumer. Before we going to talk about VAT, we should aware about nature of the value-added tax. It's a kind of indirect tax. It means there is no any direct relationship with tax collector and the final taxpayer. Government will act as always tax collector, then final in the value added tax consumer always be the taxpayer. Then there is an intermediary party called businesses. These businesses will collect VAT from consumers, then that will pay to the government. That's why we call this value added tax as a indirect tax. The final tax liability will have to bear by the consumers. Basically these indirect taxes charge on products and services. If we talk about direct taxes, those direct taxes basically charge on people wealth, income and property. Then these people have to bear that tax by themselves, because they can't transfer this liability to third party. Tax always will be applied on the value addition of production of a good or supply of service. Value addition means, if we think about the production of a vehicle, we can recognize 2 points. First point, some raw materials, then ending point, the complete car. In between this starting and ending point, there are so many conversions. Basically VAT will be applied on the value of this conversion. If you think about the value of this conversion, say 2000, then the VAT rate will be applied on this value. If we talk about in detail, we can recognize certain raw materials at the starting point, such as iron, paints and certain tires, mean rubbers and glasses. Based on those material, they are preparing vehicle body and engines and mirrors. Those things, those are the conversion. It means the value addition in between starting point and ending point. The VAT will be charged on the amount of that value addition. Here I have taken the process of bread making for your easy understanding to explain about the value addition. Here certain parties involved with this process during the bread making: farmer and flour mill and baker, and the shop, finally consumer. I have taken equal value addition amount for your easy understanding, and I have assumed the VAT percentage as 5%. Let's assume this farmer doesn't have any inputs. It means he's producing this wheat by his own seeds and cultivating in his own land. Then we can assume this the value of this wheat, it means his value addition 100. Then he will charge 5% on this 100, and final price will be 105. He will sell this wheat with the inclusive of this VAT amount, it means 105. The flour mill will buy this wheat at the price of 105. Then they also have certain value addition. It means they are changing this wheat to the wheat flour. Then they also will charge 5% on this value addition, it means 5. Then final price will be 210. It means inclusive of this 5 and this 5, means here 100, here 100, with these two VAT amounts, it will be 210. He is selling this flour mill to the baker at the price of 210. He also have certain value addition. He will charge 5% on this, then that will be 5. Then final price will be 350. He will sell this bread at the price of 315. Then shop also have certain value addition amount of 100, then they will charge 5% on that. Then finally they will sell this at the price of 420. Then consumer will buy this bread at the price of 420. Here is the important point. This 420 is include total VAT amount. It means here 5, 15, 15 and 20 plus this value addition amount 100, 300, 400. It means as a consumer, final tax expenses, final tax amount will bear by the consumer. These VAT amounts will not be a expense for these parties, because they are charging that on their price and selling it to the next party. Here I am not going to talk about input VAT and output VAT, because it will little complicate it is little complicated. Here I just want to explain you about the this payment, this indirect payment by consumer, total amount of VAT with the actual amount of the actual value of the production. Here actual value of the production is 400, 100, 300 and 400 plus VAT. Total will be 420. Here consumer will not pay anything directly to the government. These other parties indirectly collecting this from the consumer and pay that to the government. This farmer will pay 5 to the government. This flour mill will pay 5, and baker will pay 5, and shop will pay 5. Total will be 20. They are indirectly collecting this 20 from the consumer. As we talk about in the previous slide, businesses always working as an intermediary party in between consumer and government. They will collect VAT amount from the consumer and will pay to the government. Therefore the VAT always will not be an expense for a VAT registered business. It means final VAT expense will be bear by consumer. The important part of the VAT is we should recognize which good and services will be charged VAT and which good and services will not apply this VAT amount. On that we can recognize two type of good and services which are categorized under VAT law. Number 1 is standard rate good and services, number 2 zero rate, and number 3 is exempt rate. Good and services which are coming under standard rate category, the standard VAT amount, it means standard VAT rate will be applied on these good and services. Here zero rate and exempt rate, as a consumer we don't want to pay any VAT. Good and services which are coming under these two categories. The zero rate will be important for the businessman, because they can claim the VAT amount what they have paid as an input. It means if they paid any VAT on purchases, they can claim that from the government, but they can't charge any VAT amount from the consumers. And the businessman who's engaging with this exempt scheme product and services, they also can't charge VAT from the consumers. As a consumer, under standard rate we have to pay VAT, and we don't want to pay good and services which are coming under zero rate and exempt rate. Here is the important part. I have explained you three type of VAT categories, because it will be easy for you to understand these two slides. Here is the VAT exempt. It means there is no any VAT liability. It means businessman can't charge VAT which are coming under exempt category. Here I have taken important parts you should aware. which are coming under exempt category. Number one is financial services and related goods, and it means bank loans, leasings, those things will not apply VAT. The second one is healthcare services and related good. It means doctor consultation and bill on pharmaceutical items. Those items and services will not apply VAT. Number three is educational services and related good. It means any kind of service providing by educational firm, that services and goods will not apply VAT. And sale of bare lands, this is not important as a consumer. Here I have taken only the important parts which we should aware as a consumer. Next one is resale of residential properties, and the next one is domestic passenger transport. It means VAT will not apply on the domestic passenger transport services. It means bus fare will not apply VAT. The important one is rent of residential properties. It means VAT will not apply on the house rents. Here is the next category. We have already talked about three categories. Here, zero rated category. Under this category, under the category goods and services which are coming under zero rate, we don't want to pay any VAT. Here I have taken important goods and services. Number one is food items. There is no particular list. These food items will apply VAT. These items will not apply VAT. In generally, basically, FMCGs may not apply VAT. This list will be decided by the particular authority. Basically, we can assume FMCGs will not apply VAT. And the second one is medicines, and VAT will not apply on the medicines. As a consumer, we don't want to pay VAT on the purchase of medicines. And the next one is transport services between GCC countries. That service also will not apply VAT. As a consumer, we should aware about these exempt good and services which are coming under exempt scheme and zero rate scheme, because we don't want to pay any VAT good and services which are coming under exempt scheme and zero rate scheme. All other good and services which are not coming under exempt scheme and zero scheme will apply standard rate. It means those goods and services, especially motor vehicles and jewelries and electronic items, those kind of goods and services are not coming under exempt scheme and zero rate scheme. It means those kind of items will charge by standard rate. It means we have to pay 5% on those kind of goods and services. This is the summary of VAT scheme, what you have to know as a consumer, which will impose in the Oman from April 2021. Thank you very much.